Men's soccer on BTN Plus, the #2 team in the nation, the Hoosiers of Indiana. With the infielder of Indiana, it's really a staple position of this program. Started by Todd's father, Jerry, back in the 70s as a club sport. Became varsity in 73. Back in the day, one of the great coaches in NCAA soccer history. He was painting the chalk, doing the laundry, all that before soccer got varsity status at Indiana. Gutman. And his pass going infield for Swartz. But that went out, so Ohio State with the throw. 10 minutes in. Jackson Ketchup trying to scrap and keep possession, but he's crowded out by Swartz. Thomas, nice lead ball, finding Renix as it drops back, and that shot is just wide from Dorsey. Bofana, born and raised in Canberra, Australia. Fortuitous roll to the middle for Shepard. Leads it for Jackson Ketchup, who hit it first time, and that got redirected off Gutman. Right to the heart of the Indiana penalty area. And now they break on the outlet and bring it upfield. Thomas drives to the middle, past Goyen, waits for some support. Gutyar is there. Gutyar, the Swiss Army knife of this group, playing multiple positions. And you can see the wingers on both sides of the field for Indiana. They'll swap throughout the course of the match. Wide for Dorsey. In there as he looks for Renix. It's tucked inside, and finally claiming it was Goyen to hammer it out. Spencer Glass and Austin Poncho come on for Indiana. Poncho is senior from St. Louis. Spencer Glass, part of the Chicago Fire Academy. He's a sophomore, and much of his work off of the bench. His 16th appearance, and 13 of them have been in a substitute's role. Prosick. That hammered ball by Siegfried. Gutman. Into the middle, Uche. Does nice work there to dig it out, send it over the head of Moore as Etling pressures, and Muse gives that up for claim. Swartz took it on. He's leading the Big Ten in assists, number 7 in crimson. That ball to midfield. There he is. Looking up and holding it up is Dorsey. Now waits for Gutman to come forward. Indiana driving into the final third. Dorsey turning that into the traffic off the cross. Moore. You can see his pressure just trying to win it. Keep it alive in the attacking half. And Etling aggressive enough, he earns the foul. So the restart for Ohio State. They've kept it clean with the Hoosiers through 25 minutes. Mentioning at the start, Indiana won both games between these two last year. Ohio State a win and a tie in 15 and 16 respectively. Game of head tennis ends in the Indiana penalty area. Dorsey back to midfield and sent in for Prosick, who's gotten better and better at using it. Etling couldn't get a clean touch. Uche tumbles off of some contact with Corey Thomas. It's back to Siegfried. Thomas. Wide for Pancho. He's played in every game and is a spot starter. He started half of Indiana's outings this year. The senior has 3 goals, trying to provide a spark off the bench. Waits for more to come forward. Out wide for Glass. Another addition off the 18. That's headed in beautifully. Guess who? It's Gutman. And that's how he gets the majority of his goals. Wonderful service. And the senior adds a 9th, and Indiana is on the board. So Moore found Glass on the outside. And this is how you lead a team in goals from a fullback spot. Work your way into the penalty area. He had switched wings, by the way. That's just a great recognition. And he beats Uche to the near post. Looking at Indiana's roster, if it was positionless, you'd think he was a forward, but 16 goals in the last 2 years. That is spectacular. They're looking for a second. Siegfried keeps it out. Now Spencer Glass is really bringing the service on that near wing on the last 2 plays, and we'll see Ohio State holds together. They had played so well. They had gone from a near opportunity to score at one end with that offside call and then concede on the other. That goal coming in the 28th minute. And that's a beautiful through ball. And Moore will just roll that past. Well, that's Moore. Just out of the ranked team, 0-5-1 of the Big Ten. Their last winless conference season was 2012. Or 0-4-2. They'll wrap it up on Sunday at Wisconsin, who is rooting for the Buckeyes to pull some magic. Of course, they'll have to take care of their own business. The best they can do is a co-championship. Indiana coming in with 18 points, Wisconsin with 12. Badgers are at Northwestern, and that game will kick off in about 20 minutes. And that Ohio State game is Sunday at 4 o'clock. Buckmaster let it rip. All the danger coming from the fullbacks. The best they can do is a co-championship. Indiana coming in with 18 points, Wisconsin with 12. Badgers are at Northwestern, and that game will kick off in about 20 minutes. And that Ohio State game is Sunday at 4 o'clock. Minute 35, goal in the 28th minute from Andrew Gutman, 22-year-old. Their Chicago Fire Academy product. I think they'll look at him and locking up a homegrown contract so he doesn't have to be drafted. That's a poor clearance, and Gutman laying it off. And that shot is speared out by Siegfried. Buckmaster. And as one might imagine, you can expect them playing an ML attack, and that giveaway finds Gutman. Had the feet since that first goal. Ohio State, their last conference, 13 on. No team has had a perfect 7-0-1 in 2016. It's going to come on. Concussion. Indiana lost that opening game at Wake Forest and then ran off 9 wins in a row for the loss to Kentucky. And Wildcats were in here last week. They were very impressive. If you face those, though, Indiana. And this corner coming in the 40th minute. They'd want that rematch to dismiss, though, Indiana's experience, their depth, the amount of seniors they have. They'd want that rematch. And this corner coming in the 40th minute. Hoosiers coming in 4th in the conference in corners taken. Frankie Moore tying his shoe. Had a shin guard issue. Corners played short. And it's going to roll to Moore, and he's going to hit it into a mess of bodies. It pinballs out and then is sent back by Ohio State. Buckmaster. Now for Glass, who has the assist, as does Moore. Now the Gutman goal in the 28th minute, that's the difference. Tap dancing enough to hold the ball up. Now the sophomore right back from the Dallas area. The wing for the Floridian, Jackson Ketchup. And that ball by Gutman, right idea, but U.S. Open Cup championship. The first title of any kind for the black and gold. And Todd Yeagley, who was injured that back half of the year for Columbus. Brian Maisnoff started. They both got a ring. Pretty cool memory for the day that both these great friends are facing each other for the first time. It's the number 2 Hoosiers looking to take a lead into the locker room, perhaps expand on it. That is their second coming up here in this first half. They've outshot Ohio State 6-2. And they forced Siegfried into 3 saves. The good service in there, looking for Gutman. 6-foot left back. He's the Hoosiers. Maybe tell they want to put this game out of reach. There's a collision there with Blackwell. As that came forward. Klein was also in the mix. There's the shot from Palazzolo. Left side, and Buckmaster conversely on the right. Francesco Moore. Reese Buckmaster trying to fit it into a tough little crevice. Palazzolo. He and Renix have shared the duties up top. Mason Toy was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year last season. 10 goals. Played just 1 year of college ball, though, and went pro. Minnesota United took him. He'll be in Columbus on Sunday for the Cruise regular season finale. And threats. Jackson catch up. Spencer Glass. This is the unit Indiana finished that first half with. The goal coming in the 28th minute from Gutman. Lays that off there for Palazzolo. To go Ohio State's way. Palazzolo thinking he was fouled. Redshirt sophomore. Another kid out of St. Louis. And the club program, Scott Gallagher. Now Moore takes it back for Indiana. Goyen trying to break past the glass. Indiana left winger. Hoosiers back in possession. Mel. Good takeaway by Prosic, but no one really to leak that pass to. Work their way to the final third, but it's sent back out. Now Swartz quickly transitions as it's sent up by Glass. It's wide for Gutman. That ball is in. Uche, good defending on Palazzolo. Glass staying with it. Goyen pumps it into the air. And bodies careen and tumble. Prosic knocked down Klein. Etling then fell. That shot from Green, testing Muse for the first time tonight. And it's the first save for the Indiana keeper. Good build-up by the Buckeyes. It's their first shot on goal comes 66 minutes in, and he can create in a phone booth. Half of the 4 teams they've played, 3 have been ranked in the top 10. 1 is usually considered a national power. A little bit of a down year for Maryland, but of course that didn't show in the Friday game. And Indiana pushing forward. Dorsey. This Colorado kid, you can see, hits another gear. And there's the foul with the leg extended by Uche. Tried to play it clean, but it's a good look at a free kick for Indiana. Stephen Glass, Spencer Glass rather, the 20-year-old. Stands to take it. He's got 6 assists. Keep an eye on Gutman for the Hoosiers as he tries to pick him out. And slicing above 5 or 6 foreheads before the reaction of Siegfried tucks it away for a corner. It's a great ball in by Glass. Look at where Ohio State just set that defensive line. I mean, they're already defending in the Siegfried, made it tough to do anything but that. Gutjahr is going to take the corner. It's also part of a substitution. Good run by Glass there. He had the assist on the goal. Here's Gutjahr to take the corner. That extended little run out from the post by Gutman. Blast off Uche. It's another, this is their 4th of the game. The acrobatics. Hangs well, and that's headed by his first goal. Just inches from it. Another ball in from Swartz. That was headed, and Siegfried keeps it out. I'll tell you, that was a gift. And unfortunately for Ohio State, that clearance went the wrong way, right to Gutman. A deep yawning chasm, that net, as Blackwell that go right to the guy who's got more goals than anybody on the field. What a great save by Parker Siegfried. Yeah, Gutman's right. He says mad respect. Big Ten replay. He wants to see for sure, did that ball cross the line? And if, in Indiana's case, yes, it's worth the review if that did go over the line. We'll take another look at it just to see if we can tell. It's going to be hard, though. Maybe you can see a shadow of where that ball goes. It's got to be all the way over. Yeah, I don't know if there's enough of a conclusive piece of evidence to overturn that. Kind of looks like he shook his head off. So we've got a corner. Or potential goals scored. One more look at that. Oh, good save by Siegfried. 86th minute. Gutman trying to go half bike. Went sideways to try and get that off the volley. Punt it away. This hasn't been said in 8 years, but all hail the Hoosiers. As Indiana, the #2 team in the country, with a business-like approach in celebrating their 15th regular season conference crown, as they are champions of the Big Ten, courtesy of this 1-0 victory, and the Gutman goal got them there. Hoosiers start to settle in and share some hugs. Of course, Brian Maisnoff will. And that's one of the best to ever wear the crimson and cream. Danny O'Rourke, assistant coach, Worthington, Ohio native, giving a big hug to Gutman as they celebrate the title. As they win it outright, they're 7-0. They'll try and go 8-0. Be the first team to be unblemished since 2014.